Oh, I miss doing this, man. I miss doing this. You guys hear the music with me? Let a little intro music go out first, man. I'm having fun. So look, man, this is Carrie. This is probably my 1,000th podcast I've probably ever done in my life. I've been doing this, to give you a little backstory, for about 9 years in the medical marijuana field. Came from the women's side. It came from Women's Health Choices. Did that for a long time. Ran 6 clinics. Got my feet wet. Got diagnosed with Crohn's. Came into the medical marijuana side. I didn't want to be a pillhead. And from the South, from Broward. Came out to Orlando. Came to Kissimmee. Got divorced. I got a bunch of kids. I got 5 to be exact. But shout out to my kids, man. But I started doing this a long time ago. I did the Canada Social podcast, and we did so many things. We used to do shows. We used to really be involved with the community. And I really thought that, as we all knew, election year just passed. Donald Trump's our president. Let's go. Yes, that's a round of applause we're hearing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to have something new. And unfortunately, the recreational law did not pass, which was fortunate for me because I didn't think it was right that we wasn't able to home grow. That's one of my major things out there. If we do pass this medical marijuana law, let us patients, let us God-blessed right Americans be able to grow what's natural, what's God's gift, what's Jaw's gift, right? That's how I see it. So it wasn't passed, and I took a little time off of the camera time because it was a lot. Going to Publix, going to places, and you're the weed guy, which is cool, but I figured it would be a different brand. I figured that I would take Green Relief and open Ganja King and be able to have it go against cookies and go against Jungle Boys. And I'm going to talk about Jungle Boys later today, and that's the ultimate goal, is to go from the medical marijuana side and keep that going and keep helping patients medicinally. But then when it goes recreational, to be able to sell patients what I believe is the best products, the best strains, the best way to medicate for your health and personal reasons, henceforth recreational. And for our medical patients, Green Relief will always be here from time on and time in. So let's get to it. This is round 1. This is episode 1. Again, I love it, man. I'm having a good time. It is our first episode, season 1. And I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to talk about a bunch of different things. As we all know, I'm big into sports. I went to 3 different colleges, finished off at the U, played ball out there, had a great time. I got a couple kids involved in sports. And no, I'm not the dad that coaches my kids. I never coached my kids a day in my life. My kids never played recreational sports. They go straight into the school sports. I wanted them to fall in love with the game. There's so many other things that they could play, so much other things they can do. And so far, everybody's having a great time. Let's talk about it. The first thing we're going to talk about is NFL Week 14. I want to break it down. We started off with the Packers and Lions, and there's a lot of Packers fans out there today. There's a lot of Packers fans out there, and I got to honestly give you guys a big up because Jordan Love is doing it. You guys had Malik Willis come in there. You guys run such efficient offense. You guys are doing the thing, as they say. You guys got Josh Jacobs. You got him up out of Las Vegas. He said, hey, come on, man, let's go to a winning solution, and I love Matt LaFleur. I love what they're doing. And honestly, man, let's give a round of applause again, too, man. I got to give it to the Lions, 12-1. Now, big question here. Are they the best team in the NFL, or are they only the best team in the NFC? Because debatable, are you taking the Steelers? Are you taking that bad man over there in Kansas City with Mr. Reed, a.k.a. Patrick Mahomes, with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift? You got to get the Swifties in the building. You got to give them a shout-out because, she's a pop star. He's a pop star. Are they the best? Can they do it? They signed, they did a great trade with Zadarius Smith. They're hoping that monster defensive end comes back in there for him. But if they don't, Zadarius Smith is a very good alternative. It's like having, instead of having Myles Garrett, you get a Micah Parsons. They're both going to apply the pressure. They're both going to do the thing, and the Lions are doing great. Let's talk about the Jaguars and Titans. Where do they go? Trevor Lawrence gets wrecked. Train wrecked a week ago by the middle linebacker over there in the Texans, Alex Shazier, and he's out for 3 days. He's out for the rest of the season. Alex Shazier is only suspended for 3 games, which is fine. I like it. The Texans are going to the playoffs. Don't take away their championship hopes. But, the guy led with his hand. It wasn't a helmet-to-helmet contact. And if you played football, and I never did it on a NFL level. I did it in high school. I played college. You're taught not to slide. A lot of people get that shit very confused, guys. You're not taught to slide like your head open. You're taught to take a dive. That is by far, bar none. John Elway made that slide cool. But John Elway actually had a freaking arm as a baseball player. He had legs like a stallion. The guy was fast for his generation. Back then, John Elway days, he had 6'8", 400-pound men chasing after him that ran a 40 and a 5'5". You got defensive ends running a 40 and a 4'6". It's a big difference, guys. That slide is not meant to be done and nor not to be taught. Trevor Lawrence left himself open. I repeat, Trevor Lawrence left himself open for that hit, and I give a round of applause for the middle linebacker for the Texans. And you want to know why? You're taught to hit. You're at the motion of going through with the hit. Now, if he would have hit him in his helmet, it would have been a helmet-to-helmet contact. I would have said, oh, man, that's a dirty play. They're going to talk about how he got suspended 3 times previously in the past and fined for dirty-related hits. Go back and watch the film, guys. I did. 1 out of the 4 was bad. I'm including Trevor Lawrence's one, and that was probably the worst one. Come on. You open up there. Let's take it away. Titans, they're gone. That mayonnaise Will Mayo solution over there, not happening, guys. Bye-bye. You kiss that out the door because it's not going to work. The Titans aren't a terrible team. The Jaguars aren't a terrible team. I do think both the head coaches are going to get fired. It's going to be a revamp out there, and it's fine. Probably the only bright spot over there is Tony Pollard. He's doing nice out there at the Texans. I know that the Cowboys are missing him, but hey, on to the Jets and Dolphins. The Dolphins are 6-7, fighting for the playoff hopes. They beat the Jets. They did it right, 32-26. Do I agree with the Jets' stance with keep playing Aaron Rodgers? Yes. You play it out, pat the stats. Him and Devontae Adams is second all-time in the list of touchdowns now. No, fourth. My apologies. Fourth all-time. Let it ride. Keep letting him go. Let him build. He's coming back next year. You sign him back. There's no way in hell you let Aaron Rodgers go. Who wants you to play? I mean, if Sam Darnold's available, go get him. But let me ask y'all a question. Is Sam Darnold that much more athletic than Aaron Rodgers? Does it matter who's back there in the pocket if you can't keep him standing upright? You tell me. I keep A-Rod. Even if A-Rod's still out of 15 quarterbacks, number 15. Out of 30-plus quarterbacks, number 15, I'm taking that. You're taking Devontae Adams. You're taking Alan Lazard. You're taking Conklin, Breece Hall. You're taking them boys back, man. You guys got Hassan Reddick sliding through the door for beginning of training camp. It's going to be a different Jets next year. I'm loving it. I'm loving what the Dolphins are doing. Win it out. I was on the Dolphins bandwagon. I hopped on the Cowboys bandwagon. Cowboys eventually lost. We'll talk about that a little later. Falcons and fucking Vikings. Excuse my French. Did anybody see the Vikings going 11-2? Anybody? Like, did anybody at all? I'll let the crickets play. I didn't. I thought that when J.J. McCarthy got drafted, I'm looking at them as a 9-18. I mean, 17 games, 10-7. There's no way you could tell me these guys are 11-2, and the Falcons are 6-7, lost 4 in a row, last 4 games. Kirk Cousins 8 interceptions. When do you pull the plug on the kid? Kirk Cousins is a kid now. He's 36. They call him a grown man. I call him a kid. He's never been immature in the NFL. I'm not talking about his age. I'm talking about his NFL maturity. What are you double clutching for? It's very, guys, another thing teachers a quarterback. I call it quarterback school. I tell my son this all the time. He's pretty decent. He's a little quarterback out there at Cypress. 1, 2, 3, 3-step drop. When your back heel, that back heel hits the floor, the ball's released. They teach you that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-step drop. Back heel, releasing. When you clutch the first time, you're looking the opposite way. Prime example, hot receiver to my left. Why is that? Because I'm a right-handed receiver, right? Down, set, go. 1, 2, 3. I'm looking here, and that clutch is not here. My first reaction is to roll out. And you already know when I step back, if that pocket right there, did it open up for you? Did they collapse as a V as they're supposed to, as they say? Or is the pocket collapsing around you like a circle, and you got to go up between one of these two gaps? You pick and choose, and then you're rolling out the opposite way. You don't throw the football Saudi this way. You don't double clutch in the pocket. Come on. And the interceptions are crazy. You're throwing interception, pump fake once, pump fake twice, and then you're throwing it. Come on, Kirky Turkey. NFL maturity makes you a kid. Michael Penix Jr. is 26 years old. People doesn't understand. Michael Penix Jr. spent 6+ years in college. Guys, 6+ years in college. Chris Winkie did that for FSU. Can we remember that? He was 28 years old when he came out of there. Back to when Tim Tebow, like, Winky would have been decent. He got drafted by the Panthers, but that's neither here nor there. Michael Paris got drafted in a good situation. Drake London is a Pro Bowl receiver. Kyle Pitts, Pro Bowl receiver. Bijan Robinson, Pro Bowl running back. Cordell, the list goes on and on and on. Let's get it together. Pull the plug. You're only one game back from the Bucs. See what you can do. Saints and Giants. Guys, they're fighting. The Saints are fighting. Derek Carr is out. I saw probably the most stupidest play of the day. Anybody thinks about, okay, if you're over 30 years old, you know who David Carr is. For you guys who don't know who David Carr is, he was the first pick overall, Derek Carr's big brother. First pick overall, inaugural season 2002, if I'm not mistaken. I got to fact check it. First pick, my brother right there. David Carr. David Carr was sacked not only that year. When you're an NFL team inaugural season, you get the first pick and you get the first signing off the waiving wire. I want to say it was Steve Hutchinson. It was a left guard or left tackle. It was the best tackle or guard in the game. The Texans signed him. Do you know what ended up happening at the beginning? Do you know what ended up happening that inaugural season? David Carr gets a new NFL record, and not the record that anybody wants as a quarterback. He was sacked the most times ever. It was ridiculous what took place with him. Derek Carr, think about him now. Let's say you're not 30, you're in your 20s. You're thinking about a big quarterback who had his times, always injured. No one ever think he's mobile, right? Fast forward to the game. Playing against the Giants, 2nd and 10, hike, he rolls out. On a designed quarterback keep. Never did one time, if you look at that film, did he go from hike to anywhere like this, to either pitch, pass, pull back. He went from hike to this, to carrying it like his child on a rollout. Why? Why would you call that play? If I was the Saints owner, I would fire my offensive coordinator. David Carr runs out now. Instead of taking the 8 yards safely, he wants to jump in the air. Too many people's playing Madden, and too many people's watching Saquon Barkley. Bro, the white man can't jump. Takes off, clears one person, and the goofball is already on the sidelines. Doesn't, what they teach you again in quarterback school is a receiver, CeeDee Lamb's going through it right now with his shoulder, is to tuck. When you get hit or you're jumping in the air, you tuck. You have shoulder pads and this big-ass shoulder for a reason. That muscles back here, your traps. You tuck and you fall. Dude, he falls face first. Boom. He gave himself his own concussion. I'm sorry for laughing. I just, why? I don't get it. But Chris Olave's already out with concussion. I think he wanted to go join him. It was a terrible play. Go back and look at it. Can we talk about the Panthers and Eagles? Eagles are 11-2, guys. But, man, I can name you about 4 or 5 teams on top of my head right now is better than the Eagles. It's crazy. A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts. A lot of people don't know this. They were high school friends. Jalen Hurts came from Alabama. He tried to recruit A.J. Brown to go to college with him. He took A.J. Brown from the Titans. Hey, come on over here. He is A.J. Brown's godfather. And now you got a defensive player, which I won't name, for the Eagles currently, talking about it's personal. That shit's messy. And can we talk about how the Panthers almost lost? Can we talk? I mean, how the Eagles almost lost. If that rookie over there, Mr. Leggett, would have caught that pass, that's a game-winning touchdown for Bryce Young. The Eagles lose. Panthers win. The Panthers looking great. Where Bryce Young was looking terrible, he's back on that wagon. Browns and Steelers. Guys, did Russell Wilson take the fountain of youth? That's what had to take place. He is out there kicking butt and taking names. And understand this, when the 6 games Justin Fields played, he was 4-2. Mike Tomlin, 18-year head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, pulled a quarterback 4-2 to replace an older guy, less athletic, and look what he's done. He threw 2 touchdown passes that game. The Browns are done. I mean, Deshaun Watson, I'm happy that closed out over there. I didn't see nothing really about that, and I'm sad they're not bringing that up more. He's been cleared of all allegations. Now he's just healing. He didn't do anything wrong again. I hope to get him back on the football field. Jameis Winston, you're great. You're a great second backup quarterback, man. Your interviews are funny, but again, what happens? You threw 2 pick sixes the week before. It's just one of those games for him. I don't like it. Get him out of there. Jerry Jeudy, you're over there in Browns. You're talking smack. I don't like it, but that's where you deserve to be at. The Raiders and Bucks. The Bucks handling business. Told you not the first in the division. 7-6. They got the Cards riding their heels. They got the Falcons on their heels. You got the Falcons losing to the Seahawks 30-18, which was a terrible blowout. Charbonnet ran over the Cardinals. Budda Baker, I'm thinking, is more of a cracker. He didn't crack nothing. You got the Rams beating the Bills by 2 points, and Josh Allen may be MVP. Threw 3 touchdown passes, man. He had 3 touchdown runs. They killed, but Matthew, God-loving Stafford. He's out there doing it at 7-6, man. Let's talk about the Niners. They're still in the fight, man. They're like the Dolphins. I say it again. They're just like the Dolphins on that bubble, on that crest. They went out. They're going in. Caleb, you're great. You're not great. I don't love it. I think you're a great quarterback. I think you're not great in that system. I want to explain what that means. You're great and you're not great. You're a great quarterback, bad system. He'll be out of there. Matt Eberflus is gone already. You're going to get a good coach. I'm thinking if I was them, there's a young guy over there. His name's Mike Vrabel. He used to be a linebacker for the Patriots. He was a head coach for the Titans. Go get him out there. Or go get Cliff Kingsbury. He's doing wonders over there with Washington with Jaden McDaniels. I'd love to see that. And Bengals Cowboys. That game broke my heart. It's ending it. It's crazy. The player who I should not name got signed from the practice squad. They blocked the punt, which is the Cowboys. If the Bengals would have touched the football, you have probably the strongest leg ever of the NFL, ever, in Brandon Aubrey. He'll kick a 70-yard field goal. He's already made a 65. If they would have touched the ball right there, it'd have been like a 44-yard field goal. Chip shot, win game. Let's go. Cowboys almost to the playoffs. They couldn't do it. That was the issue. I didn't like it. Bengals gets the ball. You got all these players back, and I don't know what's going on with the Cowboys head coach, defensive coordinator. Why would you go man defense on Jamar Chase? Like, what? They go man defense. You think because you have Trevon Diggs back and Darion Bland, you think you guys are going to do something, man. Guess what? You get toasted. But the Cowboys had a chance. They got the ball back in a minute plus, 3 timeouts. They had a good chance. It just didn't happen. That's the problem with teams that are playoff bound and teams that are just on the crisp of doing it. That's the NFL week. I love breaking down those games. Tomorrow, I'll break down Week 15, what I think's going to win, who's going to win, big name players. I know you guys are bettors out there. I'll give y'all some love. I'll try to give you my humble opinion. The NBA Cup is great. I love it. I love how the NBA is shelling out money. Like, if you're going to, like, the quarterfinals, the finals, you're getting $100,000 just minimum for just playing. That's all 15 players. Like, that's big-time money, man. That's huge. You give a round of applause, man. I love what the NBA is doing with that. It's incredible. Let's talk about last night. The Bucks, Greek the Freak, dude. You are a freak of nature for real. They threw everybody. Wendell Carter is a big man, and I mean a big individual. He had nothing to do with him. He didn't want none of that smoke. Bucks took it 114-109. They're on to play the Hawks, who I think is going to beat the Knicks tonight. It's left to be open. We got the Thunder and Mavs going at it. The Mavs just Lou Dort was in Luka's shirt the entire night. That's the basketball terminology. That means that he's face guarding him. He's boxing one him. When they say face guard, they say boxing one. I don't give a crap what's going on around me. I'm guarding you, and I'm like this. I'm legitimately walking to you like this the whole time from all 94 feet. And they did it. They shut it down. Kyrie showed his age. He showed that he's a great backup for a great player. Or he's a best third option in the NBA. Like Paul George is a third option now. Like Kyrie's a third option, but Milwaukee doesn't have that second. And I think that's where Jimmy Butler goes. I think Jimmy Butler goes to the Milwaukee. Talking about Dallas Mavericks, sorry. I think Jimmy Butler goes to the Dallas Mavericks in the sign and trade, and I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know what's going to shake, but the money has to match up. I think P.J. Washington's going to go, and that's going to make them a little small, especially because Gafford can't shoot at all, not even free throws that well. And Lively's a 70-something% free throw shooter as well, like 77, 78. I don't like it, but Jimmy brings that stability in the game. Like, Jimmy's our lockdown defender. Jimmy could have went after Shai. Shai got loose. Like, P.J. Washington's a great defender, but he can't guard Shai. P.J. Washington could go guard, let me get a good guard. P.J. Washington could guard Kawhi Leonard. P.J. Washington can't guard James Harden. Does that make sense? He's better to go guard that big, powerful scoring 3 or 4 compared to that shifty 2 or 1 that's going to eat him up. And P.J. Washington's the best defender out there. They got rid of Derrick Jones Jr. in a stupid $50 million deal for 3 years. That's going to bite him in the butt. I think they should have kept him, but it didn't happen. I want to talk a little bit about it. Chris Paul, he did it. He's second time all time now. Like, as a rookie, there's this big video out there that Chris Paul glanced up as a rookie at the game in Utah, and he read the words of John Stockton. He says, "I'm going to get you." That was a lie. He admitted it. There's no way he catches him. I mean, he has 12,999 assists right now. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's going to be incredible for what he's going to be remembered for as probably the greatest point guard of our time. But guys, the greatest point guard of all time passing the ball is John Stockton. He did it with less talent, not with the three-point line. He did it with more of a physical game, I can say, compared to what Chris Paul goes through, especially with the and ones and three-point plays and the four-point plays that he gets assists off of. It's just a lot being Lob City, but it's cool. I give you a round of applause, my friend. Oh, a lot of us out there who's old enough to remember the battle between Chris Paul's and the year's epic battles and Deron Williams. And I was a huge D-Wo fan. I hated Chris Paul, everything about him out there in New Orleans, because I love basketball. I was a Heat guy who couldn't win anything. Chris Paul would come, drop 18 assists on our head, and go back home. Like, Tim Hardaway Jr. had no problem with that. Like, Dan Marley couldn't guard that, but it was cool. It was cool to see, and it's cool to see it now. Deron Williams is out there in boxing, and Chris Paul's out here still doing it. So hats off to you, man. And let's talk about it. While we're here is for Greenleaf. It's a medical marijuana office. It's my office. It's an office that we put our heart and tears into. We've been up for 9 to 10 years. Our 10th year coming up next year in 2025. And we've been doing this for a long time. We have about 300 some odd thousand patients that rock with us every 7 months. They give us a call. They come into the office if they haven't had a physical evaluation yet. We got people who travel all over Florida to come see us. People plan vacations to come see us. Hey, I got to go to Disney this year. I got Disney tickets. Or, you know what? Hey, Carrie, you guys, because of you guys, we got family passes at Universal Studios because we got to come see you guys twice a year anyways. Like, that's wild. Like, hats off to my staff, man. Round of applause to my docs. Dr. B and the girls and everyone who makes this whole thing go tick to talk. I couldn't do it without them. And the whole point of doing this is to keep us growing. And part of growing is product knowledge, right? So I think probably the best dispensary out here, if you don't have a budget, is the Flowery. And if you got a budget, is Jungle Boys. Jungle Boys are amazing. Like their pops. You'll get pops, which is 7 grams, $50. They got strains like Animal Tsunami, Biscotti Cream, Fantasy Melon. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 18 strains alone just for pops. And you get it for $50. If you want to go get some pre-rolls, they got probably 13 to 15 different flavors. They deliver. Like, a lot of people say, oh, shucks, I can't go to Orlando. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, let me help you out. I'm going to explain to you how Jungle Boys Florida delivery works. It's real simple. Free delivery for orders over $100. It's available in Central Florida zones, so I'll help you out. Let's just say, hey, I don't got that $100. I don't got it. Well, guess what? Nothing is too small for Jungle Boys. If you just want that eighth, got $50, that's all you want to spend, cool. We got you. Place your order, and for a small fee, they got you covered. Now, I'm going to break down the zones of where you live and how to get it done. Sorry about that. So in Space Coast, your deliveries are twice a week, Saturdays and Wednesdays. We got East Central, which is like Lake County over there and stuff. That's Monday deliveries. Another East Central location. You see the Villages? That's Mondays as well. Now, if you're in one of these locations I'm talking about, you have to place your order 1 day in advance. It's called next day delivery. You have until 4 p.m. the day of 4 p.m. the day before your delivery to place your order online with your username and password. It's very easy to create. It took like 2 minutes. Put your patient ID in, first name, last name, date of birth. It pulls you up, and it's cool. They have access straight to the MMU. It tells you how much you can buy, all of that. If you're in West Orlando, your delivery dates are Tuesdays and Thursdays. Your ordering days are Mondays and Wednesdays. If you're in North Orlando, your delivery days are Wednesdays. You pre-order on Tuesdays. If you're over here like our office in West Central, Osceola County, your delivery days are Fridays. So tomorrow, Thursday, got to place your order, guys. West Central, Polk County, same concept on Fridays. Place your order on Thursdays. It's incredible, man. We're picking up an ounce of Biscotti cream, getting it for the staff there, $160. $20 ace, and I'm talking about it is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Your ash, yes, will look like this. It's a good smoke, good price, $160 an ounce. You really can't beat it. Rule of thumb out here in the cannabis field, but really good cannabis, really good medicinal products as far as smoking wise. $10 a gram, $280 an ounce. But if you contact Jungle Boys, you get your card together. Contact Green Relief at 407-572-8643. Take a trip. Come on in. I promise you, you'll love the staff. You'll love the facilities. 1105 West Emmett Street in Kissimmee. We're in Osceola County. Tell a friend and tell a friend. 407-572-8643. And I had a great time. This wraps up our first event. I told you guys I'm going to do this 3 to 5 times a week. I'm going to bring to you guys a little bit of life, a little bit of thoughts. And I just want to touch on something. A lot of us, and I really want us to pay attention. A lot of us out there, we focus too much on what people think. I wear a horse on my shirt because it's a polo, and I'd rather wear a polo than a U.S. Assassin polo because it makes me feel better. That's an honest fact. My boots are $800. I'd rather wear Python boots and normal leather boots because it makes me feel better. And that's cool, guys. But we don't have to wait till a date. We don't have to wait till January 1st to do something to make us feel better. Like, I gave you guys 2 materialistic things that make me feel better, but you got, like, fucked up if you think that I wait till January 1st to make myself make a change. Any of us know out here that I used to be a huge alcoholic. I would drink with the best of them. First, I could outsmoke everybody, but I could drink with the best of them. I used to drink heavy every day. I don't even drink anymore. I literally could flip a switch, and that's that. I never had to wait till January 1st. I never had to wait for somebody to tell me it's okay to change or any of that. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because stop believing the hype. Don't believe in everybody else to give you the motivation. You woke up today. The job gave you that motivation. You don't have to have kids. You don't got to have no wife. You don't got to have anything. You could just legitimately be you. And a lot of us talk about, I don't know who I am. It's hard to find me. I'm trying to find myself. What are you smoking on? Go look in the mirror. You're the same person you were. Yeah, things happen in life. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But you don't got to wait to change. You don't got to wait to make yourself better. And you don't need a date on a calendar to signify that today's the day. You can wake up tomorrow and make that day your day. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. I had a blast. Thanks, guys. There you go, Nate the Great. I click. Are you sure you want to stop recording?